Okay, so think about this. A city that, like, automatically knows how to cut down traffic or save water or even figure out when the next bus surge is coming.
Hmm.
Are our cities really getting that smart? And, what does smart even mean here? Today, we're doing a deep dive into smart cities. It's this idea that's really changing how we live, how we work, how we get around. We've got some really interesting sources for this one, including research from the Friedrich Naumann Foundation and the University of the Built Environment. So our plan is to figure out what a smart city actually is, what's pushing this whole trend forward, what the kind of key building blocks are, and then look at the good stuff and the tricky parts. We want to get you up to speed quickly.
Exactly. And this isn't just, sci-fi stuff. It's happening now globally. Cities everywhere are dealing with more and more people packed in, right?
Hmm.
So there's this real need to make life better and make sure things are sustainable. And what's really key, I think, is that it's supposed to be about putting people, actual residents, first in all the planning, not just the tech.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start right there. When we say smart city, what are we actually talking about? Like the basic definition.
Okay, so basically, a smart city is a place, a settlement, that uses digital tech, like a lot of it, to run more efficiently. And the big goals are improving life for the people who live there and also being better for the environment. And it goes way beyond just, a single smart building,
Mhm.
though places like the BIA headquarters or maybe the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium give you a hint. We're talking about the whole city integrated.
Right. And there's actually a way to measure this, isn't there? I saw the International Institute for Management Development, the IMD, they have a smart city index.
They do, yeah.
They actually poll residents about tech, infrastructure, health, safety, all that stuff. So it gives a kind of common definition almost.
It does, and it's helpful. Although one thing people often get mixed up is smart cities versus digital cities.
Oh, right. What's the difference there?
Well, a smart city is the actual place, the town or city itself. A digital city is more like a digital copy, like a digital twin.
Yeah.
It's a virtual model used for planning and testing things out.
Ah, okay. Got it. Real versus virtual. So the Friedrich Naumann Foundation uses that SMART acronym, SMART, as a framework. Let's maybe break that down.
Yeah, sounds good. So the S is for startup. This basically means the city needs a really strong environment for new businesses and ideas to grow.
Okay.
Our sources say you really need government, businesses, society, universities kind of all working together to boost the economy, create jobs, that sort of thing.
Makes sense, like an innovation hub.
Exactly. Then M is for mobility. This is all about making it easier for people to get around, better quality of life.
Right. Less time stuck in traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Shorter travel times through good, efficient transport systems that don't cost a fortune. And again, the research shows the best way is to design things around people, not just cars.
Okay. What's next?
A is for accessible. This means making sure that essential public services, water, power, healthcare, parks, things like that are actually available to everyone.
Not just certain neighborhoods.
Precisely. They should be easy to get to, good quality, and run efficiently for the whole population.
Okay. SMAR.
R is resilience. So a resilient city can adapt to things like climate change and its effects. It's not just about surviving a flood or a heat wave, though.
Mhm.
The sources, especially from the University of the Built Environment, talk about designing systems that can absorb shocks and actually learn from them. So planning and policies need to protect people, buildings, heritage, making the city stronger over time, not just safer right now. It's also about avoiding huge costs down the line.
That sounds complex.
Uh,
More than just building higher walls.
It is, yeah. And finally, T is for transparency. This is about government and city authorities being open about how they make decisions.
Reducing the gap between, like, City Hall and the citizens.
Exactly. Cutting down on that information imbalance, often digital tools help here, making bureaucracy easier to navigate and understand. Builds trust.
That framework makes a lot of sense. It reminds me, one source mentioned how tricky it can be to mesh that startup culture with older city governance ways. But okay, these pillars need power, right? What's the actual tech driving all this?
Good question. A huge one is the Internet of Things, or IoT.
Right, connected devices.
Yeah, basically a massive network of things, sensors, gadgets, even vehicles, all connected and swapping data. In a smart city, IoT is key for watching energy use, weather, traffic jams, all that stuff in real time.
Okay. And AI fits in here how?
Well, artificial intelligence, or AI, takes all that IoT data, tons of it, and analyzes it super fast. This lets the city make smarter decisions, spot patterns, maybe even fix things before they break, like adjusting traffic lights based on flow.
Predictive adjustments almost.
Exactly. Then you've got autonomous vehicles. Self-driving cars. They could totally change transportation, right? Improve safety, efficiency, cut down on traffic jams, all thanks to better sensors and connectivity.
Still feels a bit futuristic, but okay.
It's coming, and 5G is critical for all of this. It's the network upgrade we need: faster speeds, less delay, more reliable connections. It's like the highway that all this IoT data travels on, and it helps with security, too.
Right, you need the bandwidth.
Absolutely, and all this creates big data. Just enormous amounts of information, so much that normal computers can't handle it.
The fire hose analogy you mentioned.
Exactly. Even smaller cities are apparently swamped with data, so you need special tools and expertise just to manage it and actually use it for planning.
Wow. Okay, so it's definitely not just about having fancy gadgets. It's how you use them to actually make a difference for people and the planet. All right, so we have the theory, the pillars, the tech. Let's talk about real places. Where is this actually happening? From cities getting upgrades to, like, totally new projects.
Okay, well, let's start with Zurich in Switzerland. It's been #1 on that IMD Smart City Index for, I think, 4 years running now.
Wow. What makes it so smart?
Well, the 2023 report showed residents are really happy, like 80% satisfied with public transport. 71% find government info easy to get. Interestingly, 60% are okay with facial recognition to cut crime. And they have an average life expectancy of 84. They seem to be using AI and AR pretty effectively for quality of life.
Okay, impressive. Who else?
Then there's Singapore, often seen as a leader in actually putting tech into practice. They launched their Smart Nation thing back in 2014.
Right.
They use a lot of sensors to gather data on how people move, like tracking overcrowding or peak travel times, really leaning into that mobility and maybe transparency aspect to make things run smoother.
And what about older cities trying to modernize, like in the U.S.?
Yeah, New York City is a good example. They're doing things like switching all their streetlights to energy-saving LEDs. They have automatic water meters, AMR systems to track usage better, even solar-powered trash bins that signal when they need emptying.
Practical stuff. Energy waste.
Exactly. Tackling real city problems. Now, for something completely different, the Line in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures. Looks wild.
It's incredibly ambitious. A 110-mile-long linear city. Planned cost, $500 billion.
Whoa.
The plan is for a 100% renewable energy, no carbon emissions from operations, autonomous transport. But our sources also point out some major criticisms.
Like what?
Well, questions about sustainability, just the sheer amount of materials and energy needed to build it, the embodied carbon. And some critics see it as a bit of a smokescreen to distract from other issues in the country. So a lot of debate there.
Okay, so very ambitious, very controversial. Any others?
How about Woven City in Japan? This is Toyota's project, supposed to finish this year. They're calling it a living laboratory.
A lab, what does that mean?
Basically a place for co-creation. Residents will actually be testing out new technologies and innovations and giving feedback. They become part of the development process.
Interesting, like beta testing a city.
Sort of. And one more. Jiangnan in China. A brand new smart city. Personally pushed by Chairman Xi Jinping. It has a digital twin for planning and uses sponge city ideas to manage rainwater.
Sponge city.
Yeah, absorbing and reusing water rather than just letting it run off. Though Jiangnan did get called a ghost city for a while because people weren't moving there very quickly. Seems to be picking up now. Over 1 million residents, apparently.
Okay, so a real mix of approaches and outcomes.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing on paper, almost utopian sometimes.
Huh.
But obviously there have to be downsides too, right? What's the balance sheet look like?
Yeah, definitely pros and cons to weigh up, big time. On the plus side, you've got potentially reduced pollution. Smart tech can help cut resource use, improve air quality, manage traffic better. That's a big one.
Okay.
Second, improved safety. Things like gunshot detection, license plate readers, faster emergency responses. Tech can demonstrably help reduce crime.
Makes sense.
Third, better transport. Smarter traffic management, real-time info for commuters, less hassle getting around. Fourth, smarter infrastructure maintenance. Using data to predict when a bridge needs repairs before it becomes a problem. Saves money, keeps things safer.
Proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. And fifth, more community engagement. Using tech to connect residents with each other and the city could be really good for, say, older people who might feel cut off.
Okay, those sound like solid benefits. What about the flip side, the cons?
Right. Well, first and foremost, data and privacy. All this monitoring and data gathering. It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Big questions about surveillance and who controls your information.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Second, cybersecurity risks. If everything's connected, the whole city becomes a target for hackers. A successful attack could be disastrous. Third, it could actually fuel inequality.
Now so.
If you don't design it carefully, smart tech might just benefit those who already have access, widening the gap between the haves and have-nots. The digital divide gets worse.
Right, you need to be inclusive.
Definitely. Fourth, sustainability isn't automatic. All this tech creates electronic waste. And ultimately, the environmental impact still depends a lot on whether people choose sustainable options, not just whether the tech exists.
Good point. Tech isn't a magic wand.
Nope. And fifth, this massive dependence on the infrastructure. Because it's all interconnected, one failure, like a power outage or network collapse, could bring huge parts of the city to a standstill. So resilience and backup systems are absolutely vital.
That's definitely a lot to think about. It seems clear that smart cities are, well, a major part of how we'll think about urban planning going forward.
Yeah.
Lots of potential, especially for hitting those net zero goals, maybe.
For sure. But I think the key takeaway is that for this to really work well and be sustainable, you absolutely need citizens involved. You need their buy-in.
Right.
It can't just be tech imposed from the top down. Its success really hinges on how people actually use it and feel about living in that kind of environment. It has to become their city.
So as our own cities keep changing, maybe faster than ever, and we get more ways to control how they work, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How much smartness are you, listening now, willing to trade for convenience? And what kind of future do you actually want for the places we call home?